Good morning, matriculants. Today we are definitely trying something new. I'm totally out of my comfort zone, so let's hope this works. This is supposed to be the analysis of transforming moments by Miss Joubert. Miss Joubert was born in 1959 in Hammersdale, KwaZulu-Natal. When we look at themes in transforming moments, we find quite a number. There is insecurity versus confidence, the seeking of identity, acceptance and change, also independence. The title. The narrator has a negative self-image, but after seeing the performance of the praise poet, she undergoes transforming moments, an epiphany, and finds the determination to want to become the first ever female praise poet. She transforms from Miss Ugly top of the class to someone who realizes everything about her is just perfect. The setting is in the Eastern Cape round about the 1970s, a boarding school. We also see a village called Tsolo in the old apartheid Transkei. And did you know that Tsolo is the birthplace of Zozibini Tunzi, South Africa's Miss Universe of 2019? The narrator. We find a first-person point of view. It's a 17-year-old Xhosa girl at boarding school in Eastern Cape. She has a negative self-image at the start of the story, but after transforming, she gains self-confidence to start writing poetry. It could actually be autobiographical, as the author was inspired by an Imbongi to start writing. It also fits the time frame during the 1970s. Miss Joubert would have been around about standard 9, this day and age, grade 11. The narrator might not be mentioned to actually give it a more universal theme. The fact that many people struggle with their identity. The fact that everyone must go through a process until they actually accept themselves for who they are, and also, like the narrator, find themselves perfect. When we look at the praise poet, he's called Imbongi, but the people call him Tira. He's an excellent presenter. He's tall and muscular. He has a dark red hat with beads, and there's a long black feather in the hat. The beads are also around his neck and waist. The leather skirt he's wearing, the front part reaches above the knees, but the back part is longer and flowing. He has a strong short stick, but the tip is made longer by white oxtail that has been attached to it. He has a biggish red, almost blanket-like cloth thrown over his arm and held in one hand. I would like to play a snippet of a women praise poet. She is called Jessica Mbangeni. So let's hope this works.
Afrika nozala wama Afrika, Afrika nozala wamzonsundu, Afrika nozala wamlisela nomthinjana we-Afrika. Zifikile izikhelemnqa zingezizekuzakuza zizenzono zakuzaku yanqisha intombi enkulu yakhaba ngawo amane yanandula abhuduzela amabhedengo bhibhidla amazinyo ebhude bhabha mexela umbhali wasuka wabhebhetha ebenkulu kuhle kulahlekisa amalokonya kodwa wayilahla imbo yakho ngophoyana bekudova bekunyathela bekubiza ngenkantosi mhlaba omnyama mhlaba okhokho masimahlaza masimachumleyo athunyiswe kukuzinca nebhongo lama-Afrika.
That is something that we are definitely not used to, but let's carry on. Symbolism and figures of speech. I'm going right to the end of the short story where we find the image of a rooster, a cock. As a rooster normally crows at the break of day, so it wants to symbolize a new beginning for the narrator who has discovered herself. The wings flapping might be a newfound excitement, and the crowing might also show how the narrator had now found her voice. On page 97, we find, I used to describe it as dry grass in winter. It's a metaphor for the narrator's hair. Page 98, doing what we had termed coughing is a metaphor. Her speech and ability to remember what had been read is likened to a cough. And set the whole school on fire. A metaphor for the gossip due to the relationship between Sizwe and the narrator. On page 99 we find, her face glowing when she received my good results. It's a metaphor for the sister's pride because of the narrator's good marks. Remember, the sister is paying for the narrator, and it would be her pride and joy to find that her sister, who she's paying for, actually receives good marks. The winter sun seemed as lazy as we were. A metaphor and personification. The sun is not very warm, therefore it's lazy, and is given a person's characteristic. On page 100, I looked around at the eyes around me, but none seemed to give me a clue. Personification. Eyes cannot speak or show to give clues. Also, this is a beautiful example of synecdoche. Synecdoche means a part is mentioned, but the whole is meant. So they mention the eyes, but they actually imply that she's looking at the whole person. On page 101, I think the look in his eyes told me, this is it now, enjoy. Personification. Remember, eyes cannot speak to tell the narrator what is coming. On page 102, we read, I felt baptized as a poet too. It's a metaphor. When baptized, water is involved. The fact that his hand, which was wet with sweat, touched her hand, made her feel as if she was baptized. Also, comparison between her first poem and someone giving birth for the first time. It's like new life had been created. Something was brought forth from her being, just like a mother who gives birth. Lastly, it is important to note that in the first paragraphs, the narrator is negative about herself. Remember, she calls herself Miss Ugly Top of the Class. She sits in front. She has knock knees. She has big feet. And then at the end, she thinks she is perfect. She laughs out loud. She cannot get enough of feeling her features and her face, the fact that she now feels she is perfect. Be very careful when you're asked what you can learn from this short story. You still need to link back to the original text. If you answer this question and you say, I've learned not to think badly of myself, that is true, but that is only a 1 out of 3 mark answer. Add, just like the narrator, who at the end of the short story feels that she is now perfect and her voice is perfect for reciting poetry, that now begins to become a 3 out of 3 answer. So please, always link back to the text. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all for today. If you have questions, you can please ask me personally when we see each other again. Or, ladies and gentlemen, you are more than welcome to WhatsApp me. You are also welcome to phone me. Please make sure that you understand this, that you answer the questions, and that you please stay academically fit. I will speak to you soon. Have a great day, Matrix.